Season 2, Episode 13, Virginia Tech Boston College preview. I'm your host, Kent Reese. What's going on, Chase?
Hey, what's up, Kent? Glad to be back, man. Saw some of your podcasts with Jacob. You guys held the fort down really good.
Yep.
So
we did.
Yeah. Good to be back on the show.
Yep. A couple of things I need to mention. I just found out that Linton Ganem is working his way back in the offensive line. And Bayshawn Tootin is having a aggravating knee sprain.
Oh, really? Got any more details on that?
Details.
Yeah, I'm looking. I just did a quick Google search to see if I saw anything. I don't see anything right now. All right. You want to go ahead and get started?
Talk about the Boston College. They are 4-2. The head coach is Bill O'Brien. You might know him from the Houston Texans.
Oh yeah, I definitely remember him.
They 4-2. The key wins they got this year was against Florida State, but I guess Florida State is not that good a football team.
Are they still ranked 10 right now, Florida State?
No, they won. They won in 5.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure. They were ranked 10th when they played Boston College. Boston College. That was a big game, though. You know, they were number 10 when they were playing them.
Yeah, the 10th team is Clemson this week. Clemson, number 10 team. Anyway, see Boston College.
We've played Boston College a lot in the past, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. We've been playing Boston College since the Coastal Atlantic Division was formed. Pretty much every single year. We had some very good years with Boston College.
Yeah, they've always been a rival, but I feel like it's only been recently they've kind of been whooping up on us a little bit.
Yeah, and no, it was depends. It depends when we show up or not. But yeah, I think last few years we beat Boston College. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we're supposed to run it, but it just seems like they have sometimes they're sneaky good. You know, you can't ever sleep on them. Hi, do you like Frank Sinatra?
Frank Sinatra is not my cup of tea.
Dylan Roberts. I can't say the first person's name. Avanthika Janakai.
I can't pronounce his name. He's not. Anyway,
I'm going to a duck do. Don't know what that is. Do you like Tom Jones? Don't know who that is.
I know who that guy is. Anyway, versus Boston College.
Right. Yeah. We have 18. We have 18 viewers right now, dude.
I know.
Holy cow!
I know. I see. Anyway, Virginia. I know we. Falcons fan that we played against Matt
man.
Ryan.
I mean, that's one of the games I always think about when I think of Boston College. I think about Matt Ryan throwing that Hail Mary against us. That was in Blacksburg too, right?
Yeah, it was in Blacksburg. It's a Thursday night. That's the last time.
Hey, that was the last time on Thursday.
That's might be the last time we played Boston College on Thursday. I mean, I ain't last time playing on Thursday, but
Right. But that I didn't know that game was a Thursday night against when Matt Ryan was playing.
yeah, in the game that Tech would have won if the onside kick wasn't messed up.
Mm-hmm.
We did took revenge against Boston College in the 2007 ACC championship game against his. We took revenge against him when we won 30-16, I think.
Good thing Michael Vick's younger brother doesn't live in Springfield.
Yeah,
Marcus Vick.
yeah,
Marcus Vick. He probably played against Boston College. I'm not sure. That was probably
yeah. I
like
think he
2002
did.
or 3 or 4 or something like that, and she probably
He
played
played,
against him.
he played the full year in 2005. Was Marcus Vick for first year, full year, full time.
The
He was suspended.
good old days. He got in a lot of trouble, but he still could play, man. He was a good player,
I,
just like his brother. He wasn't quite like Mike, but Marcus was still good.
I know. Anyway, you want to fuck the offensive coordinator is Will Lewis. He did coach. He's not his offensive coordinator. He's the offensive coordinator slash tight ends coach. He's coach. In 2003, he was at the New England Patriots coach tight ends, and then he did an offense analyst at Alabama 21-22. That's the offensive coordinator of Boston College.
Okay, I don't know any of those guys
Yeah.
other than the head coach.
Uh, and their quarterback is Thomas Kalendrin, I think is his name. When their first game, he at
Castellanos.
Carolina, that's right. I think he, I don't think he didn't play last year. I think it was, I don't know, I think it was, I don't know, was him or was it Phil Jacobic? I think it might, I think it was him. I think
I
2022.
can't even honestly I can't remember. I couldn't tell you one thing about Boston College from last
I
year.
think I think he was a quarterback last year. I think 2022 was Phil Jacobic. I think. Yeah, I think it was 2022 Phil Jacobic, and then this guy played last year. Anyway, in the first game, Thomas Consuelos was 10-10, 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. In game 2 was 9-10 with 234 yards and 4 touchdowns. Game 3 is 16-28, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. That's against Missouri, I think, when they almost they could have beat Missouri, but Missouri came out was a win, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then game 4, he was 10-10, 140 yards, 1 touchdown. Game 5 he was 23 at 30, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And altogether, 2023, it was 67 or 100 for 67%, 983 yards, and 12 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. That's his 2024 stats of the season. And his 2023 stats, he's 2,248 yards and 15 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. So it looks like he's improved from 2023 to 2024. So from this year.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's decent numbers for sure. Looks like they put up a decent amount of points, and looks like their defense ain't too bad too. Just looking at the scores of these games, so. But the quarterback, I mean, he sounds like he's solid. He had that one game he threw 3 picks, so maybe we can squeeze a few out. If he throws a few reckless passes, get some pressure on him, and make him throw some reckless passes. Maybe some of our secondary can make a play.
Yeah, I
What do you think
know.
about him?
I think he's a pretty solid quarterback. I guess the good team he played was against. Missouri, I think I seen.
Well, the hype going into the Florida State game was still a big game for them, even though they kind of laid an egg. But that's still a big game. So they've had two, and they beat Michigan State. I don't know how good they are, but it's still a big school. So they've already played three big schools, four if you count UVA. I see that, but still, they've arguably played more big teams than we have so far. I mean, we've played Vandy, and you can argue Miami obviously is a big team, and then Stanford, but we really
And
haven't seen any powerhouse
Rutgers
team.
and Rutgers.
Rutgers, yeah, they're having a good season, but they're not a big school though. They're not like a, you know, are they? What are they even in the
In
conference?
in the Big Ten, man.
They are okay. Maybe I
Yeah,
didn't realize they were that big. I mean, I don't think of Rutgers as like a huge school. Maybe they are. I'm probably just not don't know everything about them, but yeah. I just think on paper they've played more bigger teams than us, better teams than us too.
yeah,
They've already played two ranked teams. We only played one.
yeah,
So, but even though Florida State was a fraud, but this still was a big game for them,
yeah,
regardless.
yeah,
He didn't pass much though for that game. He only threw 106 yards against Florida State.
yeah. He pretty much did.
I mean, he's gotten 3 games where he's thrown over 200 yards. So it's not like he's done anything wild, but he's pretty consistent.
Yep, he's pretty. Yep, he's pretty consistent quarterback. I give him that. I give him credit for that.
Yep. So we'll see. I mean, he's 5'9", 196. Does he have much rushing yards this year?
I didn't write down his rushing stats. You see his rushing stats on the ESPN app?
Um, it's weird. It's like they don't. ESPN doesn't show those stats that well. They don't show his rushing yards. He has 983 total. I don't know if that's passing
What?
and rushing,
Oh,
but
what about if you click on his name? Does it show any rushing?
well, yeah,
I think that.
I'm looking at him right here. This is
Oh
what it
yeah,
shows right here. I don't see anything about rushing yards unless I go into maybe full splits, but then I got to really, really look. It doesn't really show it in a clean way to read it.
actually, there's another way. And that
Yeah.
is on Boston Go. I think it's GoEagles.com. On you click on Boston College roster.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
I ain't gonna do all that, but
and you're a little frozen, by the way. Are you back normal?
yeah, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna do all that, but yeah, I mean, he seems solid. So who else we
yeah.
got?
We got Lewis Bond, wide receiver. He's got one reception, 7 yards in game one. Game two, 5 receptions and 98 yards, one touchdown. Game three, 4 receptions and 51 yards. Game four, 10 receptions, 102 yards and one touchdown. Game five, 7 receptions and 21 yards and 7 receptions and 79 yards. 2024 altogether, he got, I think, 30 receptions and 358 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay, who was this again?
Lewis Bond.
Okay, yeah, it looks like that's the top guy. As
Yeah,
far as
he's,
caught the most receptions and most yards. Okay. I mean, yeah, he averages 11.9 yards a catch, so we gotta keep an eye on him.
yeah, we got to keep an eye on him.
Do you know much about him?
Not really. Really, all I can know is that but looking at his stats, all I know is a pretty good wide receiver.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. They got a bunch of guys that average like 10 yards a catch. That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
They got three dudes who've caught at least 10 passes, and all of them average 10 yards a catch. So it looks like they pass it a long ways. They're not
Yeah.
just doing like short passes, unless they do and they pick up yards. I'm just not. I haven't watched them enough.
The other wide receiver is Reed Harris.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's Reed Harris. I lost my spot, but I'm back. Yeah, 10 yards for one session, game one. Game two at 72 yards, one session, one touchdown. Game three, one session, 62 yards, one touchdown. Did not play game four, game five. Game six, he got one session with 27 yards, and altogether at four sessions, 176 yards and two touchdowns.
Yeah, he's just had big plays. I mean, he only has 4 catches,
Yeah,
so he's averaging 44 yards a catch. So it looks like he's only had big targets, and he's cashed in on a bunch. It looks like
yep.
he's had 2 long touchdown catches. It looks like. Good gracious, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of yards for 4 catches.
Mm-hmm. And our wide receiver is Jared Steek. I think Jared something. I think Jared.
Jaden Skeet.
Jared Steek. Yes, right.
You just want to read his just read his season stats.
I will. I didn't. I couldn't. I was in a mood to write down all stats anyway.
Yeah,
17 receptions at 188 yards.
yeah, he's number 2 on their chart as far as stats. So
Yeah,
it's him and Lewis Bond get the bulk of the targets. It looks like,
yeah.
and then the tight end has 10 catches with 133 yards.
That's Kamari
Morales,
Morales. Yep,
he has
100.
3 touchdowns.
Yep, 16 receptions, 132 yards.
They've thrown up quite a bit of passing touchdowns. Looking at this, I mean, it's probably comparable to us. He's
Yeah,
thrown 12 touchdowns this year. That's a lot.
yeah. The running back is Tashawn Ward.
Trayshawn Ward.
Yeah, Trayshawn Ward. He got
Yeah, not quite as much stats on the running. I mean, it's their rushing is way weaker. It looks
yeah,
like. And they've got 3 backs that have 200 yards, so they've got 3 different guys. But I mean, they have 5 touchdowns out of those 3 guys, 9 rushing touchdowns. I feel like we probably have more than that. I don't know. That's just what I see glancing at the stats. I mean, it looks like they don't run the ball that well. Wonder what they're ranked nationally in rushing.
I can't find it. I can't find that.
I mean, the QB has more touchdown passes than Drones. Not quite as many yards passed, but we have 13 rushing touchdowns, and we have 2 guys. Bashal Tuden's run for 605 yards so far, and so
Yeah.
he's rushed for basically what all 3 of those guys have combined almost.
I think if Vaishon Tunin, if he's a little healthier during his bye week, he's going to be probably get over 100 yards in this game because of his bye week.
Yeah, I hope he's. Yeah, exactly. I think sounds like the bye week was very crucial timing for us. Hopefully, um, yeah, because I mean, other than him, Drones has the second most yards rushing. Then it's just between Malachi Thomas and Jalen Lane, but Malachi Thomas hasn't done a whole lot.
No, he hasn't.
But this may be a game where he has a chance, especially if he ends up tweaking something, or if for some reason he can't play as much snaps, it may be a good opportunity for Malachi Thomas to get going.
Yeah, I know. Like I said,
Definitely looks like the Eagles are definitely pass heavy though. Looking at stats, I mean they don't rush the ball that well compared to us.
I think the Eagles is a better passing game than they are rushing game.
Yeah, I agree. Just stats alone shows that, but I do think I mean that kind of fits to what we do. I feel like our defense is good on the pass. We defend the pass pretty well,
Yeah,
and
I think
we've been getting a lot of interceptions the past. I mean, we've had like 3 interceptions the past 2 games, I think.
Yeah, our defense is a better passing defense than we are rushing defense. It's
Yeah,
a
that
run.
sets us up well for this game.
Yeah, I know.
Castellanos has rushed it 53 times, and he's only gotten 103 yards, but he does have one 18-yard rush. So the QB can run it some. He's not afraid to run. Um, yeah, he has, he's tied for the most carries on the team. So it looks like he does run some. I don't know what type of offense he runs, but definitely looks like he's a dual threat guy.
Yeah, I know.
And being 5'9" and that weight, he's probably a quick dude.
Yep.
So it'll be a good challenge for our defense. These types of dudes usually do well against Tech if they're dual threat and they can throw fairly accurate. They kind of like that dude from Vandy. He just makes the right play at the right time because those types of quarterbacks, they have options. They can pass it and run. It's hard to defend both, but I think the Hokies will be ready for it. I think boys have been playing good ball, and kind of almost wish we didn't have the bye week because we had such good momentum. But hopefully, since it's a Thursday night game, it's shorter week. Um, Being a night game in Blacksburg, it's gonna be good energy. I feel like I'm gonna be there.
You are?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna be watching it from this. I'm just gonna watch it from my TV. I'm not gonna be there. I don't think.
yeah. Since I live so close, I was like, man, I want to go. I want to see it. So I feel like the night games are always fun in Blacksburg. It's always if you can make the trip, it's worth it. I think.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to talk about this Boston College defense?
Sure.
Their defense. I'll write down their defensive back. Like Toby. The you got the defensive stats. The defensive back. Toby. Dale, I think is his name. Correct me if I'm wrong. Got 21
I'm
salt.
trying to find. I don't know if I see him right off the jump.
He got 21 solo tackles and 30 tackles and one interception.
Carter Davis.
Oh yeah, Carter Davis. That's his name. Thanks.
Carter Davis. So yeah, he 21 tackles, 30 total.
Yeah, 30.
So that interception.
Yeah.
And they got one guy that's got 9 sacks. He might be up there with APR.
That is Devon. That's defensive end.
Donovan Zirico.
25 solo tackles, 45 total tackles, and 9 sacks.
Yeah, he's been making some plays this year.
Yeah. He only had 2 sacks last year.
Wow. Man, he's killing it this year. He's got to be top in sacks.
Yeah.
In the country. I mean, he's got to be one of the top guys, I would think. Let's see how many APR has.
APR, I think, got 7 sacks, I think.
Oh, wow. Well, APR he was number 1 there at one point, so this guy must have taken the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, APR still sitting at 7 sacks. That's interesting. I mean, definitely got to watch out for him. He looks like he's fast, 6'2", 247. Big dude. He's got a forced fumble. Wow.
And
Anybody else you write down or notice?
Yeah, another defensive back. He got 16 solo tackles, 26 total tackles, 2 interceptions. Can you help me? How me pronounce his name? I guess.
I didn't hear what you said.
I think his name starts with a K. His second letter starts with an H and an R.
Kari Johnson.
Yeah, Kari Johnson.
Okay. Yeah, 20 tackles, 2 interceptions. Yeah, wow. And he had a pick 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looks like they're deep. That's why I noticed just looking at the scores. I mean, it looks like all the scores are pretty low scoring games, so they hold their teams to not a lot of points. So Tech's offense has been rolling, I think, recently. So that's going to be a challenge to see if the this offensive line can give drones a little bit of time to make some plays, and also, with the run game, because if they got guys like that up front, they're going to be tough to run against.
Yeah,
But
they
Tootin
got.
Tootin will probably expose them though. Tootin's that type of running back. He can expose pretty much anybody. So I think if he's healthy, we'll still be fine. But the offensive line's gonna have to give drones time to pass. That's gonna be the key. They've
Is
gotten a lot of
drone?
interceptions. They've had 2, 4, 6, 7 interceptions this year.
Yeah,
8
they got.
interceptions. They got 8 interceptions.
Yeah,
Yeah, their defense has made a lot of plays this year. Looks like on paper.
yeah. If Tujin can run pretty good rushing defense against Stanford, he got 73 yards. Then he probably can do this against Boston College D. I think.
Yeah, yeah. But they are solid. We can't sleep on them.
No. And another guy I wrote down was Nate Gunkarkley, I think. He had 11 solo tackles, 22 total tackles, and 1.5 sack.
Yeah. Another defensive end. So their defensive ends are solid. They have 10 total sacks.
Yeah, I know. Their defensive coordinator is Tim Lewis. That's the defensive coordinator. He coached defense. He was a co-defensive coordinator of Remaklum, and also Houston Gremlin as a defensive coordinator.
I don't know him that well.
I just look him up today on
Yeah.
their.
He's running a good defense, though, that's for sure.
Yep.
So we'll see what they can do against the Hokies.
Yep. So, what do you think of? See here. What do you think of Louisville being UVA, and what do you think of Georgia Tech being North Carolina under a blowout run?
Uh, Good to see Louisville win, I guess, against UVA. I don't know if that was like an upset or not, but I didn't even honestly, I didn't pay attention too much to the ACC games, but that's a good win for Georgia Tech. I mean, I don't think UNC is as strong as they've been though. Seems like they're not quite.
No, you
Not that
think
they're not traditionally good, but they've been decent the past 5 7 years. Like you couldn't really, you still have to play a good game against them because they've had good quarterbacks. But um, I don't know. This year it's not looking too great.
you think Mac Brown will resign?
He might. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's time for a change with them.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fan base says, but I imagine there's probably people calling for that. Any
yeah,
any fan base when they're not winning, they're going to start calling for coaching changes, and they'll start grasping for straws for anything.
yeah,
But I think this will be a good challenge for the Hokies. We need to keep the winning streak up, and pretty much can't lose any more games this year if we want to have a good looking season. So it pretty much must win from here on out.
yeah,
And I think they know it though. They've showed up these past 2 games. Obviously the tight loss against Miami was just a devastating loss, but they showed up nonetheless, and they showed up big time against Stanford.
yeah.
And I think that was a big win to come off that loss and have to go to the West Coast. That was a big statement win, and it was hot that game. So
It was hot.
yeah, so they've played 2 hot games already, and Vanderbilt was super super hot, man. Let me tell you, it was a hot game out there. Not quite as hot as Stanford from what I heard from the temperature, but they've played 2 hot games already. Um, I think this game's gonna be cold though, from what I saw on the weather. It's gonna be pretty chilly Thursday night.
I'm assuming it's gonna be in the 40s. I've been seeing low 40s even here.
Yeah, low 40s, and the low might even touch 30. I saw a forecast for 30. I doubt we see that in the game, probably middle of the night, but yeah, it should be in the 40s, so that'll be a classic fall night game in Blacksburg.
Yeah, I know.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Be my
Yeah, me
first
too.
home game this year.
I think I saw SportsCenter is going to do a segment on the game. I think.
Is the game on ESPN?
Yeah, it's on ESPN.
Nice.
7:30.
There are a lot of folks watching NFL, but I'm sure we'll get a lot of viewers watching college on Thursday night. That'll be a pretty
Yeah,
big game.
we will.
Yep.
But
So, yeah, I'm excited.
but here's the deal: that Miami game that got 3 million viewers.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. That's a lot. I mean, that game was exciting too. So I think once folks saw that first half was so electric, people wanted to watch with that second half, and that second half didn't disappoint either. So that's a game ESPN is. I'm sure they're happy that it was a high scoring game and tight too. Those Everybody wants to see that. I talked to a lot of people that weren't even Tech fans were watching that game. So pretty cool stuff.
yeah. I think a lot of people also want to see an upset. I think too.
Oh, they did for sure, for sure. I mean, you got anybody that doesn't like Miami or loves Tech or just loves good games, they're going to say that we won it. And you got your other folks who are going to say, "Oh, he didn't catch it. You know, they made the wrong call on the field. It shouldn't have never even been that way." And then you got other people who think it's a conspiracy that they want an undefeated ACC team to go to the playoffs. So who knows? But regardless of the outcome of that game, them boys showed up. We
Yeah,
played it really well against a really good team. And I think that game put so much confidence in our boys. I think that's why we came to Stanford and whooped tail.
yep. 31-7.
Yeah, I mean they knew it's like we just played a tough team. Like this will be nothing compared to what we just did. So, um,
Yep,
but we just got to keep that same mindset going into or coming into this game. We need to win at home bad.
I know.
I think we've won more games on the road than we have at home this year.
Yeah, our next home game against Georgia Tech. That's gonna be a noon game.
That's a noon game.
Yep, the next game Ace has been doesn't now is Virginia Tech versus Georgia Tech home game noon ACC Park.
Have they announced the time for the Clemson one yet, or no?
No, not yet. It's Clemson is November, the first weekend in November.
Yeah, I know that's one I'm trying to go to as well. I've just been wondering what time that game's going to be.
Is
Hopefully, at
it
least four or either night game. I'm hoping one of the two. 4 o'clock would be pretty cool.
a betting man? I would say 4 o'clock. It depends
I
how well
would
we
too.
do
I agree.
too.
I think if we win this game and definitely win the next, though, it won't be any earlier than 4. But maybe if we lost the next two, it might be a noon. Who knows? But let's not. I'm not counting on on these boys to lose two. I'm counting on 2 wins before
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know. So, what do you think of South Carolina almost take down Alabama? Alabama.
That was tight game. I mean, Alabama got lucky, honestly. Um,
Yeah,
South Carolina, they had a chance, didn't they? They missed a field goal, or didn't something
they missed.
happen?
Oh, and they turned the ball on a fumble earlier.
Well, they had a chance at the end, though, didn't they? And
Yeah,
well, no, he missed that field goal, and that would have put them ahead. And then they got the ball back, but they didn't. They didn't
they
score.
I scored a touchdown, got the 2 point conversion, and then they won the onside kick, and then
Yeah,
then the offense didn't show up after that.
yeah, I know I know that's disappointing for South Carolina fans if you convert an onside kick I mean, that's hard enough to do alone. So that I know they were probably counting on a win after that. What'd you
Yeah,
think of it?
I think it was. I wanted Alabama to lose, but it is what it is.
Alabama's had some close scares. Even against Georgia. If you count Georgia, their last 3 games have all been super tight. So it's interesting to see. You really can't. I think after they beat Georgia, everyone was quick to say they were going to be the juggernaut team, but they've already lost to Vandy and they just about lost to South Carolina.
I think that Vanderbilt game must have went to their heads. You
I
think
think
so?
so. Yeah, yeah. I think yeah, because they lost. That's like us losing to. I'm trying to think of a good comparison. I mean, it's almost like us losing to UVA, but it's even bigger than that for them. That's like a game they're never supposed to lose. And I think the fact that it was close and that they lost, like that probably shook their confidence, I bet, a little bit. And his new coach, and all that. So they
And
probably
plus,
came into that next game. Some of them were probably like, "Oh, we'll be fine," and probably had some guys still a little shaken up from that last one, and so that in South Carolina wanted
I
to have a chance to make a statement.
I think South Carolina's good behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure Beamer's a big part of that.
Yeah, Shane Beamer.
He knows how to he knows what he needs to do to keep his guys focused and everything, just like Frank did.
Yeah, I believe if Nick Saban was still the head coach, that will probably not lose to Vanderbilt.
And if they did, they wouldn't have lost. It wouldn't have been close to South Carolina. They would have probably steamrolled them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy to see. You never thought that you'd see Alabama start to kind of. It's still you can't say that they can still easily go to the playoffs and win this whole thing, but they're not like this unbeatable team anymore. They're human, so
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah,
of kind of cool to see.
yeah, I
But
know.
but we need Tech. We need Tech to get some wins. We just need more and more wins, man. We gotta keep stacking them up, and I
Keep
think
on stacking up and hoping we can Virginia Tech can compete to the ACC title game.
that's right, man. That's what we're hoping for right now. I mean, we've had 3 losses, and we knew that was a chance, but I don't think we thought it'd be against the teams that it has been against so far. So we gotta come out and beat win these next game. We gotta beat Boston College this week first and
Yeah,
foremost, and then Georgia Tech is another one, and then Syracuse is another one, and then Clemson's gonna be one where it's like that's they got to really show up and play. Um, but I could see us going 5-1 over those next 6 games, potentially 6-0. I mean, it's not out of the question.
no, it's not.
Because
Virginia
we'll
Tech.
see how
Yeah,
and that gives us a lot of time now between now and then. We'll see how Clemson's going to keep looking, if they're going to keep on inching closer to the top, or are they going to take a few losses in between now and then? Who knows?
yeah, who knows too?
They play. They don't really have any huge games between now and then. They play UVA this Saturday, and they have a bye week, and then they play Louisville. So they only have 2 games between now and then. But um, yeah, we'll be all right.
Yeah, what you think about Hokies in the pros? You saw any this past Saturday?
I didn't see much. I can do a quick few searches and see if anyone big names are doing anything. Tremaine
Okay,
Edmonds, they had a win against Jacksonville. Tremaine Edmonds had 6 tackles in that game, and he's doing pretty well. He has a forced fumble and interception this year. Only 1 sack though, but he plays um, linebacker, so he's probably not going to have a ton of sacks. He has
no,
23 solo tackles, so he's kind of middle of the pack, I would say, or he's probably towards the top third of the league in tackles, so not too bad. He's tied for 70th. Let's see if since they won, let's see if Khalil Herbert got any touches. I know they threw a lot of passing touchdowns that game. I don't even know if they had a rushing touchdown. Nah, they aren't giving Khalil Herbert anything, man. he really hasn't had many chances to play.
No.
He did, he played a little bit in the first 2 games, and that's he hasn't had any snaps past 3 games. That sucks to see. Let's see if Chuck Clark did anything for the Jets. Wow, no way that this must be season. This must be season stats. It says 28 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. They play tonight. Yep. So I think it's showing his season stats. I believe he still has 1 forced fumble and no interceptions. I did hear Terrell Edmonds is on the Steelers. I believe.
He's still on the Steelers.
I think so. I'm about to see if he comes up. I always forget how to spell his name.
Terrell Edmonds. You could type in Edmonds Brothers, and that'll probably show up.
I don't think he's playing right now because they're not having him come up. What about that old defensive tackle we used to have that played a few years ago, or defensive lineman? It's like a nose guard, maybe. He went to the pros. He was kind of around when like Isaiah Ford and them played play on the defense.
Come on, Tim Settle.
Yeah, Tim. Is he still in the league?
I think still in the league. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, he's with the Texans. Let's see what. Forgot about Tim Settle. So he ain't doing too much this year. He has 6 tackles. He has 2 sacks, but he hasn't gotten a ton of snaps. It looks like he's played in 2 games this year where he's had stats. Other than that, he ain't had any stats. But he's playing for the Texans. They're 5-1, so he must be a backup right now. So he'll probably see some time though. I'm sure with the way injuries and stuff go. I don't think Tyrod got any time since Aaron Rodgers.
I doubt it, but
I think he only played against San Francisco. Anybody else we're forgetting?
nothing I can think of.
No receivers. Bucky Hodges doesn't play, does he?
I don't think so.
Bucky Hodges is on the Jets.
He is?
Well, I think he's a free agent. He doesn't have a team behind him, but they must have cut him. Cam Phillips. He's on the Panthers. No, he's waived as well.
Yeah, I don't think he ain't doing nothing, man.
No.
Wait, no, Cam Phillips is the assistant coach, man. For Virginia Tech, remember?
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's like he's learning. He's like assistant wide receiver coach.
Okay.
For Joe, what's his name? What's our wide receiver coach name? Fontown Mounds. He's like Fontown Mounds' assistant. I'm learning to become a learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. See if Wyatt's still injured. Yeah, he's still on the IR. 19 days. He has to miss 4 games, so he'll probably still. Browns are really bad right now, though. It sucks that Wyatt's on such a bad team right now. So that's Hokies in the NFL, y'all. I think that's about everybody. I think we hit everybody.
Yeah.
So shout out Chuck Clark, shout out Tremaine Edmonds. They're about the only two that's seeing a lot of snaps right now. And Wyatt Teller, as soon as he gets healthy, he'll probably see more snaps. But maybe hope Khalil Herbert can get some time playing, or either get a trade to another team that'll play him some more, and hopefully Terrell Evans will get in the game. And you don't hope Tyrod plays, because that means Aaron Rodgers will have to get hurt. But it would be cool to see Tyrod go to a team where he can play that has weak quarterback play right now.
Yeah, I like to see that too.
It would have been cool to see him go to Carolina. I think he could have done something decent in Carolina. But
Yeah.
I mean, basically all the other teams kind of have their quarterbacks set. Carolina's about one of the few teams that don't have a real good quarterback. But yeah, it would be cool to see him play some. I think he's still got some left in the tank.
Yep. Hope so too. Anyway, let's go back a little bit to Boston College. I hope Virginia Tech gets a win against Boston College, gets a win against everybody else, and hope they can compete for the ACC title game.
Mm-hmm.
But still too early to tell. And
yeah, still too early to tell. But we just got to take it one game at a time and stack these wins. Like we just said, we came off a good win 2 weeks ago, and I think if we can just get this game under our belt and come out with a super solid win, make it convincing, kind of like that Stanford win, make it super convincing. People start looking at us different, because people know that we're a dangerous team, but they're not going to really give us much more attention until we really start winning.
yeah.
And statement wins would make them really talk about us. And not that we need to be talked about, but it would just makes us more of a convincing team if we can get big wins. So let's do it. You want to do a score prediction?
Yeah, but we need to remind them the game starts 7:30 on ESPN
7:30
this Thursday. But anyway, yeah, you can do a score prediction. You go first.
All right. I'm not going to predict that steamroll win like I'm hoping I see, but I do think that we'll do pretty good. I think that we could win 28-17.
28-17. I'm going to give them 17 points. I might give them maybe. I think I might give them 31-17. I think
31-17. That's good. Yeah, I could see there being a field goal. I didn't really put any field goals into the score, but that's good. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
I'll be jumping to Enter Sandman in about 48 hours.
Yep.
No, not a little more than that. 72 hours.
72 hours.
72 hours. Countdown's on.
Yep. Anyway, I guess you want to ready to close it, I guess?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, thank you very much for watching this episode of Virginia Tech Football Show, Season 2, Episode 13. I'm your host, Kent. See you guys next time. Tuned in. Let's go Hokies.
See you later, Hokie Nation. Let's go Hokies. See you, Kent.
See ya.